just looking back at UNLV and kind of dissecting that film, I felt like it was similar to Colorado State in a lot of ways. I thought we played a really good first half. We were right there. And for whatever reason, again, we come out slow in the second half. I have no answer to why that is. If I did, it would be corrected. So we'll continue to work on it. Got to do a better job, obviously, with post defense. Boone really hurt us. We've got to make more shots. We're making it very, very hard on ourselves to have one team have 30 points versus our 6. So we got to continue to find good shots from an offensive perspective. But we had a really good couple of days of preparation and practice. We move on from UNLV and we get fired up. We've obviously been really good at home. Our 3 losses have come on the road, and we're seeing throughout all of college basketball it's hard to win on the road. No, it's going to be an amazing environment. Proud of the fact that we're getting sellouts this early in the year. Hadn't happened in a long time, so it's a credit to our guys for doing an amazing job of obviously winning helps, but also the way that they play, the way that they act. I think our community certainly appreciates it. And now we've got a nationally televised game. It's going to be amazing. Stripe out. I have no idea what sections are supposed to wear what, so don't ask. You guys can figure that out, but please get out the word there. So it'll be a fun day.
I know I asked you on Tuesday the same question, but I'll ask since you've watched another game film. Is the three-point problem that guys are passing up shots, or are you guys not creating enough opportunity?
I think it's both. I think it's a little bit of both. I think you're playing 2 guys in JT and Nelly a lot who are not going to shoot a lot of them. I think JT could shoot more, but he's not going to be a high-volume guy. So it's kind of a similar problem that we had last year with Josiah and Mo. But we need our 1s, 2s, and 3s for sure to shoot them when they're open. But take great shots. So it's a little bit of the first thing you said of creating to get other guys shots. But, UNLV was clearly just trying to, because we're hard to guard when you press up on us. They were sagging off a little bit. And so a little bit of both, I think.
And Donnie, just as a follow-up to that, Donnie's only flaw, really, it seems like, would be that outside shot. And it seemed like he was addressing that earlier this year. And maybe now, I don't want to say he's regressing necessarily, but his production hasn't been as good since league play started, and they do seem to be sagging off him again. Have you had a specific conversation with him about taking more three-pointers?
Well, he took some versus Wyoming, right? So it's really just 2 of the 3 games that he didn't shoot as many of them. But Wyoming dared him to shoot them, where UNLV and Colorado State didn't necessarily dare him to shoot them. He needs to, every one of them. I mean, to say he only has 1 flaw, that's very nice of you. I mean, I think all of them need to continue to get better and better at what they're doing. So he's still young, and the competition has increased, and I know he'll learn from it. He didn't play great last game, obviously, but I think he'll rebound from it pretty well.
You mentioned post defense and going up against a guy like Ledee, who's kind of been dominant all year. What challenges just go into just trying to slow down a guy like that?
Yeah, I mean, he's strong, physical. He could score in a variety of ways. They put him kind of all over the court, whether it's ISOs, post-ups, on the block, in the middle. So it's going to have to be a team effort for sure with him. He's physical. He gets you in foul trouble. So everybody's got to be ready and available.
You mentioned all year that Q, you're trying to find a way to get him more minutes. With him, is it just a matter of foul trouble, or is there's just not Q?
Foul trouble? I don't think he's been in foul trouble yet this year. I think it's just can't play everybody, So as the competition gets harder and harder, I look at Q as he's a freshman, redshirted last year. He's going to be a really good player. Just can't play everybody.
I don't want to be Will Weber here, but
don't ever be Will Weber.
Are your all-conference guards taking enough shots?
Who are the all-conference guards? You talking about the 3 or the 2 of them?
How's the management?
Well, I think you're starting to see a little bit more rhythm from them. They missed a lot of time. So why would you take a shot at Will? Did Will ever ask that question? It was like a stray, an unnecessary stray.
You asked a question that's already been answered.
I think they need to, House versus Wyoming shot a lot of shots. I don't remember the exact. Steve, do you remember it? It was maybe 15 shots. Yeah. So I think they need to score points for sure. I think they're starting to look more themselves, maybe versus UNLV. because I think we can't forget where our bread is buttered with those guys for sure.
Kind of going off of that, I mean, you guys are a team that can get up and down, playing transition. Is there something else you want to see kind of in the half-court offense and really setting up? Is there something more that you haven't seen yet?
Well, we're different this year. Morris Udeze was certainly a scorer down there. Not to say Nelly can't, but I'm not sure Nelly is as good as Morris in those things. Nelly's better at other things than Morris was, but Mo is pretty good at scoring down there. So it's a work in progress with those guys. We do have a lot of new players. I think we kind of forget about that because House and Mash and Donovan were certainly three important ones, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are all new guys. So work in progress there, but take what the defense gives you. It's move them around, see if you can attack, and kind of go from there. So better from the free throw line last game, which was great. I think we had the right guys taking them. But as I said before, I don't want to jack up threes just to jack up threes, but it's pretty hard if you're only shooting 3 threes in the first half. And like I said, 30-6 was the point differential in threes. That's challenging.
I don't want to go all leave for with Donovan played the entire time without House or without Mashburn. Now that all three of them are there, is he struggling to maintain some sort of identity? Because now you're
No, I think it's competition. It's increased. Not to say that Donovan's not ready for that competition, but we're playing tougher games. So everybody, Nelly's not putting up percentages that he may have before. So, it's just an increase in competition. It's not a chemistry thing with those three guys. I don't see that at all. I just think stakes are raised, getting a little more challenging.
You've repeatedly said that the fans here, in your opinion, are the best in the country. You enter a game against San Diego State off the run that they had last year. How does home court advantage play a role in tomorrow's game?
The fact that we're selling a game out 4 or 5 days before, it just shows how much this community cares. It's the most underrated home court advantage, I believe, in all of college basketball. You see all those lists all the time. We just haven't had the success in the postseason, especially to be in that conversation. But our fans have absolutely overperformed, I think, throughout the years, maybe more so than what we've all done. So it's an amazing experience to be a part of. We have recruits that are coming to it. We've got recruits that will watch. Our players will remember these type of environments for years and years and years. I think we've seen a lot of people writing stuff about how arenas need to get smaller in college basketball. I saw an article the other day. There's a handful of them that can still fill them, and we can obviously do that. So hopefully moving forward, not just tomorrow, but we'll get multiple sellouts.
The game against UNLV, another example of the importance of Jalen being on the court, the unfortunate technical, 8-point game, and it stretched, I think, to 21. Not that farther, and was kind of a similar thing with CSU or whatever. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I've talked about it over and over again. Just got to be a little bit smarter. His intentions are good. There was kind of a scrum right there. He was trying to run to break it up, but you can't get excessive in front of the ref. So it's a work in progress there as well. He understands it. He gets caught up in the emotion. He's an emotional player, but there's 99% of that is positive.
Jalen Ledee reminds you of any player you've faced either this year or just in your 3 years here? Is there a comp to him that you've seen in the Mountain West?
I don't know. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but he's done a great job of, just continue to develop his game. I don't know if he has a true weakness, to go along with obviously being very, very strong and physical and tough. San Diego State's always had those guys, but he's got an offensive skill package that maybe a little bit more unique. So I can't think of one guy. He doesn't have a lot of weaknesses. I do know that. And it's going to be a major challenge.
As far as the difference from last year's team, obviously you guys, they were a lot bigger. They were just a bunch of linebackers on that team last year, but they also had Nathan Mensah protecting the rim. How different is their defense? Or is it still the same defense? They just happen to have a better rim protector last year?
Yeah, they may have had a little bit better shot blocking with Mensa, but their defense doesn't have a lot of holes. It's pretty similar. I mean, they're going to play 5 very physically strong, tough, older guys for the most part. And so, they're going to switch a lot of things, make you play one-on-one. So you got to have great player movement, ball movement, because it's not going to be easy to certainly find a lot of points.
Is that why you guys matched up with them so well last year? Their only home loss was to you guys here, as everyone well remembers, ball in the air, buzzer beater to beat you guys. You guys played them as well as anybody all last year, and I'm curious if it is because they forced you to play one-on-one, and you guys have some players that sometimes even the fans here get frustrated with being one-on-one type players. You guys have that skill set. Is that why the matchup for you guys has been so good?
I don't know. I mean, I thought we played really well at their place last year. We competed our butt off. We rebounded the ball very, very well. We were able to attack and win. Even here at our place, we had a little bit of a lead, and then we got a little bit sloppy. They came back and made a good play. So I don't know if it's a matchup thing or what. It hasn't been every year since I've been here. Obviously, hopefully we continue to build and compete with teams like that in our league that have been very, very consistently successful. So they're gonna make it it's not easy to score on them. It's never been easy to score on them. So we got to do our part to rebound and defend with them and see if we can go win a rock fight.
We're 2 weeks into the conference schedule. Still not a real big breakthrough win for any team on the road. But look, it's obvious defending home court is important, but your next 4 games are probably against 4 of the best teams in the conference here in this building. Just talk about how important it is to win when you're on your own floor.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to win at home because it's not easy by any means, but you have an advantage. When you have 15,000 passionate fans, that is an advantage. How big of an advantage, I don't know. You know what I mean? But I know our guys will be juiced up. They love playing in this building. So the energy will be high. We've obviously been better at home, but we've had some good neutral site wins as well. But at the end of the day, the formula normally is win as many as you can at home and then go see if you can steal some on the road. The beauty of this league is you're going to have a lot. I looked at the schedule. Now, it could all change, but I think 10 of our 15 left are quad 1s and 2s. So really good opportunities in front of us.
We know it's a nationally televised game, but it's like really, really nationally televised game. 2 o'clock on the East Coast, Saturday for the football games. I mean, great opportunity for your program.
Yeah, I mean it's puts the state of New Mexico. I think it. As I've said many a times, I believe our fan base is the most underrated fan base in college basketball. I don't think anyone would ever think you'd put New Mexico up with the Indianas, the Michigan States, the Kentuckys, and the Dukes, and so on. But our fans are as passionate, if not more. And so you have an opportunity. As I said before, when I first got here, all the graphics in the building of filled pit were of Steve Alford coaching. Well, now we're able to get our guys on there and sell it in recruiting and those things and show more recent success as it pertains to attendance to show the buy-in from the community. So it just helps us in so many ways. The revenue that's produced with these games. I mean, I look at our basketball program like it's like a local business. Go support us, and it's going to help us in the end. We certainly talk about all the challenges that the state and everybody has. When you have 15,000 people pouring their heart and soul in us, it just helps us moving forward. So greatly appreciate them.
And just with that noon tip, how much, if at all, does that kind of just change your game day routine?
Changes it a little bit. We're used to late games just because of TV and stuff. We'll do a different time shoot around. But our guys, we practice over the break at 11 o'clock a lot. And then we've been practicing the last couple of days at 12. Energy's been good, everything like that. So, yeah, get up a little bit earlier, get some breakfast, do all those things, and you won't have your traditional, but they do as well.